Why do some women seem to naturally command respect, admiration, and long-lasting affection no matter where they go? Why do certain women walk into a room without saying a word, yet people feel their presence instantly? And why do some women seem to attract healthier partners, deeper connections, and more stable relationships, even without trying? These women are not always the prettiest, the richest, or the youngest. What they have is a psychological maturity that radiates through their behavior, their boundaries, and the energy they bring into every space they enter. And in today's video, we're going to explore the 6 psychological habits that create irresistible, soul, iconic, mature women. Not irresistible in a seductive sense, but irresistible in the sense that people feel safe, calm, drawn to their presence, and deeply respected in their company. These habits are not tied to age. They are not about manipulation. They are not about performing femininity. They are about the long-term inner qualities that make mature women powerful, centered, and unforgettable. They are tied to inner development. A woman in her 20s can have them. A woman in her 50s can develop them. And a woman at any stage in her life can choose to grow into them. Before we begin, here's the structure of today's video so you know exactly what we'll cover. We'll break down all 6 psychological habits, and near the end, we'll talk about habit 6, something I call quiet, unbothered elegance. It's the breakthrough habit that transforms everything. And trust me, you'll want to stay for that one. But first, the emotional foundation of this entire conversation. Many women watching this want peace. They want emotional stability. They want to stop feeling drained in relationships. They want to stop attracting chaos, inconsistency, or people who take advantage of them. They want confidence that doesn't shake when someone pulls away. They want to embody a calm, grounded presence that commands respect without ever raising their voice. To understand how this happens, psychology gives us a roadmap covering emotional regulation, self-worth, attachment dynamics, boundaries, communication patterns, and intuitive empathy. Now, let's begin with the first habit. This is the cornerstone of everything that follows. Habit 1. The habit of emotional regulation. One of the most powerful psychological traits of an irresistible mature woman is her ability to regulate her emotions, not suppress them, not pretend everything is fine, but regulate, meaning she feels everything, but she doesn't let every emotion run the show. In psychological terms, emotional regulation is the ability to understand, slow down, and control your emotional responses instead of reacting impulsively. A mature woman understands that reacting instantly, especially during conflict, almost always leads to misunderstanding, escalation, or regret. Instead, she takes a breath. She pauses. She observes herself. She responds from a place of clarity, not panic. She is not emotionally volatile. She is not reactive. She is not unpredictable because she does not hand the remote control of her emotions to anyone else. And this creates something extremely attractive, a sense of emotional safety. People trust women who are emotionally steady. Partners feel calmer around them. Friends admire their balance. They become the grounded center in the middle of chaos. This habit comes from a developed prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for planning, decision-making, and emotional control. Mature women strengthen this part through mindfulness, self-awareness, and experience. They understand that being calm is not weakness. Being calm is strategy. Being calm is power. And this emotional steadiness makes them deeply, quietly irresistible. Habit 2, the habit of deeply grounded self-worth. The second habit is deeply grounded self-worth. This is not surface-level confidence. It's not, I look good today. It's not, I'm successful, so I matter. This is a stable, internal sense of value that does not fluctuate based on who approves of her, who texts her, or who chooses to stay or leave. A mature woman knows her worth even when nobody is validating her, even when someone rejects her, even when life becomes uncertain. She understands that her worth is not something people give. It is something she recognizes within herself. Because of this, she doesn't chase approval. She doesn't tolerate disrespect. She doesn't beg to be chosen. She doesn't crumble when someone pulls away. And what makes her irresistible is this. People can sense when a woman stands on solid ground. Grounded self-worth creates natural, unquestionable boundaries. She doesn't need to shout them. Her energy communicates it for her. She respects herself, so others feel compelled to respect her too. Psychologically, this habit comes from a secure self-concept and healthy attachment independence. She has learned that needing connection is human, but depending on other people to define her is dangerous. The more she loves and values herself, the less she is shaken by temporary losses, and the more magnetic she becomes. Habit 3, the habit of intentional communication. The third habit is intentional communication. Mature women communicate differently, not with aggression, not with passive-aggressive hints, and not with emotional confusion. They speak clearly, warmly, directly, with emotional honesty. They don't play games. They don't expect people to read their mind. They don't use silence as punishment, and they don't use guilt or manipulation to express needs. Instead, they say, "This is how I feel. This is what I need. This is what I'm not okay with. This is my boundary." Clarity is attractive because clarity is safe. People feel more relaxed around a woman who expresses herself openly. It reduces drama. It strengthens connection. It removes uncertainty. Intentional communication is also grounded in emotional awareness. She knows why she feels what she feels, and she communicates from understanding, not projection. Psychologically, this habit connects to interpersonal effectiveness, empathy, and self-respect. When a woman expresses herself with clarity and warmth, she becomes easy to love, easy to understand, and unforgettable to be around. Habit 4, the habit of self-contained fulfillment. The fourth habit is one of the most powerful, self-contained fulfillment. This means that a mature woman finds joy, passion, and purpose within herself before she seeks it in relationships. She is emotionally self-sustaining, not emotionally dependent. She has a life outside of love. She has interests. She has goals. She has routines. She has a sense of self that does not disappear when someone else enters her world. This makes her deeply attractive because people are naturally drawn to those who have a life worth joining, not a life that needs saving. A mature woman does not wait for a partner to make her happy. She does not wait for someone else to give her identity. She does not cling to relationships out of emptiness. Instead, she sees relationships as something that adds to her, not something that completes her. And this is important. Fulfillment is magnetic. People feel energized around someone who loves their life. People admire someone who is passionately engaged with themselves. People respect someone who doesn't crumble without constant attention. This habit is explained by self-determination theory, which states that autonomy and personal purpose create inner stability and emotional attractiveness. A fulfilled woman is naturally irresistible because she is whole. not waiting for someone else to make her whole. Habit 5, the habit of empathic intuition. The fifth habit is empathic intuition, a form of emotional intelligence where a mature woman can sense emotional shifts, understand unspoken feelings, and connect deeply without losing herself. This does not mean she absorbs other people's emotions. It means she can understand them with boundaries intact. She knows when someone is hurt, but she doesn't take responsibility for emotions that aren't hers. She knows when someone needs support, but she doesn't lose herself trying to fix them. She knows when to stay silent, when to comfort, and when to step back. Her empathy is balanced with logic. Her compassion is balanced with limits. Her intuition is balanced with wisdom. This balance is rare and deeply compelling. Empathic intuition builds deep trust. People feel understood. People feel seen. People feel emotionally safe. Psychologically, this habit is shaped by emotional attunement and healthy mirror neuron activity, the mechanisms that allow humans to connect deeply without being emotionally overwhelmed. Mature women intuitively know how to support others without drowning in their emotions. That rare balance makes them unforgettable. Habit 6, the habit of quiet, unbothered elegance. This is the powerful habit I mentioned at the beginning. The habit many women develop only after life teaches them hard lessons. Quiet, unbothered elegance. This is not about fashion or appearance. This is about psychological elegance. It is the habit of moving through life with calmness, boundaries, self-respect, and emotional neutrality. The habit of not reacting to disrespect. The habit of walking away from chaos. The habit of choosing peace over conflict. Quiet elegance is the opposite of desperation. It is the opposite of insecurity. It is the opposite of loudness. It is soft power. It is controlled energy. It is self-trust. A woman with quiet elegance does not need to argue to prove a point. She does not need to show off to feel valuable. She does not need to win every battle. Instead, she knows what deserves a response and what deserves silence. Psychology explains this through the concept of nervous system regulation. When your internal world is calm, your external reactions naturally become calm too. People trust calmness. People are drawn to calmness. People respect calmness. And people desire calmness because calmness is rare. Quiet elegance is magnetic because it signals emotional mastery. This is the habit where maturity transforms into irresistible presence. Now, let's bring all 6 habits together. Emotional regulation creates safety. Self-worth creates boundaries. Intentional communication creates clarity. Self-contained fulfillment creates independence. Empathic intuition creates deep connection. Quiet elegance creates magnetic presence. Together, these habits form what I call the Irresistible Mature Woman Framework, a psychological blueprint for inner strength, emotional intelligence, and captivating feminine energy. And the most important part, every woman can develop these habits. Every woman can embody this maturity. Every woman can step into a version of herself that radiates confidence, peace, and emotional depth. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be loud. You don't need to be flawless. You just need to develop the habits that align your mind, your values, and your emotional world. And if you're watching this video, you're already doing that work. Your presence becomes irresistible when your inner world is stable. Not when you are performing, not when you are chasing validation, not when you are trying to be chosen, but when you become the kind of woman who chooses herself, a woman who understands her worth, a woman who controls her emotions, a woman who communicates intentionally, a woman who creates her own fulfillment, a woman who sees deeply with empathy and intuition, a woman who moves with quiet, unshakable elegance. This is what makes a mature woman magnetic. This is what draws people toward her naturally. This is what creates long-lasting, healthy relationships. And this is what you are capable of becoming, starting today. If today's video resonated with you, take a moment to like this video, comment your favorite insight, what you're working on, and subscribe for more psychology-based content on emotional intelligence, self-worth, and deeper relationships. And when you're ready, watch the next video on the screen. That one will teach you how to avoid those subtle manipulation tricks for a clearer relationship. Stay soul iconic.